So the Pro Bowl started today. The 2018 Pro Bowl for the 2017 season started today. The AFC beat the NFC 24-23. Um, Me personally, I do like as a fan, um, seeing my players from my team in the Pro Bowl. As a fan, I like the fact of the Pro Bowl, but the game itself is kind of plain. It's nothing special.
Yeah, I didn't watch it. All right. Well, welcome everybody. This is the FATstaters show brought to you by FATstats. FATstats is we entertain and provide you information. We analyze the game of football, and we're hopefully bringing it to you in the most entertaining way possible. You can find us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, medium.com for any readers out there. And this will be posted on SoundCloud. You can find us at @fat_team_stats on all those handles. So I'm Bobby. I help grade the quarterbacks. And then with me is Mike Papa.
How we doing? How we doing?
He's also grading. So what we're going to do is just bring to you the next 30 minutes. We're going to bring to you what FATstats is all about. And then we'll go over some of the grades today, the 2017 grades. And then we'll talk about the Super Bowl a little bit since that's pretty relevant right now, about a week away. So with that, we'll get right into it. So FATstats. So we're actually coming up on our 1 year. We started 1 year ago. I think it was March 1st. We just had a meeting earlier today and we talked about it. 1 year ago, we were at World of Beer,
Yes.
right? And we were looking at grades online of players. What was it? What was the grades that caught us?
Well, one of the ones was PFF. So they're obviously they grade NFL players. They have every position. But one of the things that really caught us off guard was the fact that last year David Johnson of the Cardinals was ranked as the best receiver in the league. Now I understand he catches a lot of balls. I mean I don't have the figure of how many balls he caught last year. But I just don't see him being as the best receiver based on the position he plays. He's a running back, not a receiver. So we, a couple of us, we figured, we can probably do better than they can.
Mm-hmm.
And we actually feel like we can make more sense than they do because I personally, for me, that doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, and so that's what we did. So it was right around the Super Bowl, right?
Correct.
I mean,
Yep.
It was. And so we said, okay, let's sit down. Let's start with a position. We have 5 guys on our team. So me, Mike, Austin, who's at Florida Gulf Coast going to college, Alec, he's local, and Keith, who's also local. Keith has the other podcast that we have, Go Fick Yourself.
Fick yourself.
That just started. But we started to grade quarterbacks. We wanted to grade quarterbacks, right? And so in order to do so, we said, okay, what's the best way for us to grade quarterbacks? What is the most objective way we can grade quarterbacks rather than just saying, yes, this quarterback did great, just based on the box score, because the box score isn't always the truth, right? You go, quarterback throws to 300 yards and over half of the yards is yards after catch or rack, whatever you want to call it, run after catch, it doesn't matter. But most of that's what's driving the performance, quotes, of the quarterback and how great the quarterback did. We wanted to take that away and do an unbiased, as objective as we could, grading system. And so that's when we started last year again in the Super Bowl. We put together a spreadsheet, sat in front of a TV, and came up with, I think there's over 30 actions. Every single play, we watch every single play of every single game, every quarterback. And what we do is we grade every single one of those plays and we give based on our actions.
Yeah, so I mean, we pretty much come up with any kind of action that a quarterback could do on that single play. So, you're under pressure. You get a mark for that. You avoid a sack. You throw a specific amount of yards downfield. How accurate it was. I mean, we kind of take into effect anything the quarterback can do on that play, whether it's good or bad, and we put it all together, and it averages out into a score. Um, yeah, it's actually kind of interesting how we do it. It's
Yeah, and we graded 2016. We just finished 2017, obviously. We're grading the 2017 playoffs. This offseason, we're going to go back and grade 2015. The more data, the better, because of all the situations that happen throughout a season, whether you're playing in different weather conditions or you're playing against a great defense, or maybe you're playing against a poor defense, or we have to find out what that standard of excellence is. So the more data we have, it gives us a wide range of different situations and outcomes, and we're taking all of that into consideration. So the more data we have, we normalize our grades, and then in the end, we pop out a grade 0 to 100.
Yes. Let's see. Speaking of 0 to 100, Nick Foles in the game last week against the Vikings had 100 for us.
Yeah.
Which only happened about 10 times for us.
10 times.
Since we've been the past 2-3 seasons.
Yeah, now you graded Nick Foles, right? Did you think it was going to be...
I did. Honestly, I was surprised that it came out to 100, but throughout the game, like, you could just tell he was just accurate, hitting the ball no matter anywhere downfield, whether short, intermediate, deep. He was just accurate. He was under pressure quite a bit, but he was delivering throws accurately. And when he got into the red zone, he delivered. And his score definitely affected his grade. It definitely matches his grade.
Right, he threw well under pressure. He did what he had. That one throw, the flea flicker to Torrey Smith, unreal. Beautiful throw. And so I get it. So that's the beauty of our grades as well, right? It's not a lot of people are biased towards certain names, and when they see the names and they see a grade, they automatically think no way. We called Deshaun Watson being great. So have it. Yes, when Deshaun Watson first came in, he wasn't that strong. His decision making and his making the throws, accurate throws, yes, it wasn't that strong, but his ability to escape the pressure, his ability to use his legs, they won the game. They won a game, and I forgot who it was, but it was a really low scoring game. It was like 13 something, but he had that 70 something yard touchdown run, or he had a 60 yard. It was huge for him, and so he had a great grade for FATstats wise, because it's not only throwing the ball, but he did what he had to do as a quarterback to win the game. And we called that before. Same thing with Carson Wentz, right? Everybody's calling him the MVP, and he did great. He was amazing. In our FATstats, where do we have him ranked?
Carson Wentz ranked 7th with an 80 grade.
Right.
80.0.
Right, and a lot of people thought he should be number 1. But if you look at the game, Carson Wentz, a lot of his plays were yards after catch. A lot of the throws, broken plays, Nelson Aguilar breaks off, throws behind the line of scrimmage to this running backs. The running backs did really well out of the backfield. Just not that it's nothing wrong. Carson Wentz wasn't punished for it, but he definitely didn't. He was not the only reason why that Eagles team was so great.
He was definitely a factor, but no, he had help around him. Now, he definitely did his job. He did what he needed to do. He threw the ball. He was a gunslinger, mm-hmm. and his grade kind of affected that, because it showed that. Because he did have his turnovers here and there, that some quarterbacks didn't. But he definitely did what he needed to do, and he was a top quarterback in the league. And he only played 13 games, so it could have been more or less. We don't know that.
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess since we're into it now, we got the 2017, the overall QB grades, right? Given the system that we've created, now we graded all of 2017, and we want to call out some of the grades. Some of the end of the season grades are overall grades for the 2017. So for number 1, our best quarterback in 2017, the regular season, was Russell Wilson. Right, he finished with an 89 out of 100. He was amazing. I honestly think he should be MVP. The only reason why he's not, and no one will even, because they didn't make the playoffs. But if you look at that Seahawks team, the O-line was atrocious. Russell Wilson was that entire offense.
No run game.
Yeah, I forgot how much he accounted for in their total offense, like the yards. I mean, rushing game, he was the leading rusher. I'm almost positive about that. Um, and I mean, he was amazing. He was the reason why the Seahawks won as many games as they did, because that defense, yeah, it was injury riddled too. Cam Chancellor got hurt. Wagner was hurt. Richard Sherman got hurt.
He did it all for them. He legit did it all for the Seahawks, and his grade showed that. Yeah, he had an 89. He was ranked number one. I personally didn't really watch Russell Wilson that much. We have, Bob and I, and there's three other graders. I personally watched Russell Wilson maybe 2 or 3 times. But every time I watched him, I mean, he did his work. He did what he needed to do, and he definitely helped the team way more than he hurt the team. If not, he made the team win games.
Yeah.
And it shows. It really shows.
Yeah, and just to give you a perspective, so that O-line, I keep bringing it up because that is one of the reasons why he scored so high every single week. That O-line was so bad, he was pressured on 3.2, every 3.2 dropbacks, which is second in the league. So he was pressured more than everybody else in the league except for Tyrod Taylor was number 1. And Russell Wilson was, I mean, on top of that, he was ranked in average completed air yards. So he wasn't just running the ball. He was looking downfield. He averaged 7 air yards per completion, which is 4th in the NFL.
And if you want to compare that with Tom Brady, Tom Brady was 5th with 6.9. So I mean, they both throw it downfield, but yeah, he was 4th in the NFL. He threw it downfield when needed to, because honestly, he had to break plays down and just throw it deep because people were just running deep, making plays happen.
Yeah.
I mean,
is it fair? Can a quarterback win an MVP? Can a player win an MVP if they don't make the playoffs? Has that happened?
It might have happened. I don't, not that I can recall, but it probably did happen. He deserves it, but he won't win it. I doubt it.
Yeah, I doubt it too.
I doubt it. He deserves it though, for sure. He definitely carried that team.
Yeah.
Definition of put the team on his back. So Russell was one. Our top 5 that we had, who had more than 8 starts. It was Russell Wilson was 1 with 89, Drew Brees 2 with 86.9, Tom Brady was 3rd with 83.5. Ben Roethlisberger, who we'll get to in a minute, had an 83.3.
Big Ben.
And then Case Keenum came out of nowhere. 15 games played. Case Keenum had an 82.5.
It's all about that system.
So that's the top 5 for the year, not including some players, excluding Jimmy and Deshaun Watson and Aaron Rodgers, who we will get to also. But yeah, the system worked for Case Keenum, and Case Keenum balled out. I was very surprised at him this year.
I mean, you look at back last year, they got Sam Bradford last year, and Sam Bradford started to hold his own towards the end of the season because he started to get the system. He was getting in trance. So this year, honestly, I thought Sam Bradford was going to have an amazing year. He got 100 FAT grade the first game of the year against New Orleans Saints. And the Vikings looked amazing. Then Sam Bradford had the issues with his knees. Case Keenum comes in and lights it up. It's like nothing changed. And it's the system. It's got to be the system. I mean, that's all the quarterback, but the system gels well, and their offensive weapons are, second to none as a whole.
They made the championship game for a reason. They got plenty of talent all over the field. I mean, their defense definitely helped them throughout that. But yeah, Case Keenum, he was 20 compared to Russell Wilson, who was 4th in the NFL in our average complete air yards at 7. Case Keenum was 23rd in the NFL at 5.3. Mm-hmm. So he didn't throw it downfield as much as these other quarterbacks, aka Tom Brady and Russell Wilson. But he was very accurate. He's actually 2nd in the NFL in true accuracy at 68.5. So he was very accurate. He didn't throw it downfield that much, but wherever he was throwing it, he was accurate. And he was also very conservative with the ball. He didn't turn it over.
Yeah, and true accuracy too, just to let you guys know, is not whether or not the receiver catches the ball or not. I mean, the ball can be there, the receiver can drop it. This is a on the money, you could say, throw to the wide receiver or to any receiver, regardless of drop.
You hear it all the time. You can't defend a perfect pass.
Yep.
And we truly look at how good the pass is, and he was very accurate with the ball. He put it where it needed to be, and that's why they made it as far as they did. I mean, he was a key factor. Very surprising too, because I would never have guessed. You tell me Case Keenum leads the Vikings to the NFC Championship game and balls out the way he did. He could win MVP. He's in the running.
Yeah.
In my opinion. I don't think he's going to win.
I don't think he's going to win either, but he definitely needs to be recognized as he was a top 5 quarterback this year, hands down. You can't tell me 5 other quarterbacks that did better than him.
No, he honestly should start for them next year. That's a tough decision for them.
That's really tough because they have to worry about Teddy B, Sammy B, and now Case Keenum. Where are they going to go? Because I don't know contract wise. I think they might all be up for free agent. I don't know about Sam Bradford, but I know Teddy Bridgewater and Case Keenum, I believe, is a free agent this next upcoming year.
It sucks you give up a first-round pick for Sam Bradford. He's not even your starting quarterback. Granted, he did get hurt, but
yeah,
just the way it goes,
Yep.
So yeah, Ben Roethlisberger. Now it's funny because he all year, even before the year, maybe he talked about retiring. He didn't want to come back. And he comes out, week 4, week 5 against the Jags and throws 5 interceptions and looks terrible. Maybe I don't have it anymore. He played really well other than that the entire year.
I thought he was done.
I did too. I'm surprised he even wants to come back again, but you can't blame him. He went to he had a Pro Bowl year, top 5 quarterback. He went to the the divisional round. He lost to the Jags, which... that's a very tough matchup for him, obviously, because he struggled against them. But he looked well against the Jags in the playoff game. He had a really good year, and I just don't see him retiring. He still has it.
Yeah, he definitely has it, and it's like a light switch flipped on. I don't know what it was. Towards the beginning of the year, it just looked like, I don't know. It was just kind of lollygagging in a way, and then his performance just completely picked up. It was a light switch. It was like, holy crap. Steelers offense is, it's a top 5 offense.
You have all those weapons. You why would you leave? You still have a chance to make a run at a championship. You can't leave now, but they have so many weapons, like it's crazy. I don't know what's happening with Le'Veon Bell next year, but they have so many weapons, and Ben still has it. There's no way he retires again. I don't see it.
Yeah, and Big Ben, so I don't know if you talked about the accuracy wise, but he is, believe it or not, the 4th most accurate, true accuracy in the league, right? 67.7% was his accuracy rate. That's second in the AFC. I probably would behind Tom Brady. It was behind Tom Brady. So, he's still got plenty. I have him on my Dynasty Fantasy team, so I'm hoping I can get 2 more years out of him.
I could see it. I don't see him.
I hope so.
He can still definitely do 2 more years.
Because I traded a pick for him. I thought I was going to win it all.
Sometimes you got to take risks,
Yeah. So, all right, after Big Ben is Goff. So, Jared Goff. Now, we just had an article written from one of our FATstats members, so Austin. He wrote an article on the most improved QBs year over year, right? So from 2016 to 2017, who are the most improved quarterbacks based on our FAT grades, right? And Jared Goff came in at number 1. So Jared Goff was the most improved quarterback year over year, which is awesome. Let me see here. So Jared Goff got 26 points better in his grade year over year. Okay, he finished the year as a what? What was his grade? He finished number 6 at 80.8, right? So last year, he was at 60 something then. Mm-hmm. It was incredible.
What a difference. I don't know how much it goes into his offensive scheme, which obviously it goes into a lot. Maybe it's just Jeff Fisher, I don't know. But yeah, an incredible jump. He looked amazing this year. He was very confident, and he was throwing the ball accurately. Granted, people were running open, in my opinion, and it doesn't hurt to have Todd Gurley running and catching the balls the way he did. but he definitely improved his play a lot, and definitely well worth that number one pick.
Yeah, agreed. I mean that it's all about the system, right?
Yep.
It's the coaching makes such a big difference, and having McVay come in, I mean, it's a completely different offense. I hope he continues to excel. Like he wasn't any. I mean, he had great games. But he wasn't. He's a great game manager in a way, right? But they're looking to sign Sammy Watkins, re-sign him. They're gonna have to pay him a lot of money, but if they can keep Sammy, they're gonna get Robert Woods back healthy. And then their tight ends are actually really good. They're pretty good. They're young guys, and they're tight end. And then you got Todd Gurley, of course. I think that offense is set.
Yeah, I mean, Jared Goff's only going to get better. I mean, it was his second year.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's definitely going to get better, especially in the same system, just working, and then with the same. They got a young squad over there, so the future is bright for them.
Yeah. So after Goff, we already talked about Wentz. In a way, he comes in at what is it? It's number 7.
7.
He comes in at number 7. He had an 80, which is great. He had a great year. So he started to climb the ranks towards the end, right before he got hurt. But he comes in at number 80. I mean, plain and simple, he wasn't the best quarterback via our FAT grades, right? That team is amazing all around. I mean, Nick Foles stepped in and he's doing what he's doing. You're seeing that. The coach alone, that team is built to win. It would help to have Wentz. You'd feel more comfortable to have Wentz. But still, that team is built to win based on that defense. That running game is amazing. And we'll talk more about that later on in the show as well.
You know, it definitely helps to have a quality backup quarterback, because you never know when your starting quarterback goes down. I mean, if they didn't have Nick Foles, like Bobby just said, they have a great team all around. But Nick Foles definitely played a huge part in them still going to the Super Bowl. So it definitely helps to have a backup quarterback.
Yeah. Yeah, so we have the rest of these grades posted on Twitter. If you go there, you can see all 29 of our QBs that we've graded. So the reason there's 29 is you have to hit a certain threshold in order to get that. You have to have at least 150 scorable plays. However, we wanted to segment a different part of our grade. So not because these quarterbacks either got injured and didn't have enough plays, or they came on towards the end of the year, aka Jimmy G. So Jimmy Garoppolo, he actually has our best FAT grade, but we don't have him as number 1 because he only played 5 games. He had a 91.8 over those 5 games. He played against some pretty good. I mean, he did well against the Jaguars, which is the best pass defense.
Yeah.
And especially in FAT grade allowed, they are the best. So Jimmy came in and I mean he lit it up. He played the Bears, came and got an 85. Houston, he got an 83. He got a 79 against the Titans, your Titans, and then he got an 81 against the Jags. And then he had the last game of the year. I forgot who he played, but man, that guy, they made such a smart decision. And I heard that they were trying to get him at the beginning of the year and they couldn't. Like the Patriots wouldn't let him go. I don't know what Lynch did, but eventually the Patriots softened up, and I mean they gave him away.
I mean, you can't even imagine what he could do if he was there the whole year. I mean, who knows where the 49ers would have been? You never know. I mean, honestly, okay, he had a 91.8 in FAT grade. Russell Wilson 89. So that's 2 more, almost three more points higher. He definitely balled out. I'm excited to see what he can do next year for the whole entire year. I mean, he looks like a true quarterback in the making. I mean, he definitely can lead the 49ers team to a championship. I mean, the way he's playing. It's crazy the way he turned that team around.
Yeah, some call him Jimmy the GOAT.
Jimmy!
Well, if he keeps winning, he's going to be Jimmy the GOAT, honestly.
Yeah. So, yeah, I cannot wait to see this guy play next year. To be honest,
Jimmy Garoppolo versus Tom Brady in the Super Bowl? Can you imagine?
Please have that. Please make that happen. So, Aaron Rodgers. That is a name people have probably forgotten just because they didn't forget him. All right, I'm not going to say they forgot him, but I mean the guy was injured, right? He had, how many games did he play? He played six. 6 games we have, right? He got an 81.8. I mean, he was in our top 3, top 5 all year. And he got hurt, unfortunately, right? So we don't have, he would have come in. He would have come in
at 6.
Yes, he would have come in at 6th. But 6 games played, we took him out. So he had a great year. Deshaun Watson, another guy.
Played 7 games, had 84.8, which would have been third in the league over Tom Brady.
Yeah.
I mean, he lit it up. As a Titans fan, I didn't even want the Texans to draft this kid. And I was upset that they took him. And I'm afraid to play him twice a year. He's a baller.
Yeah, I really didn't. I went to FSU, so Clemson. Maybe it was just part of me. I was like, there's no way this kid's gonna be good in the NFL. Maybe just like Mariota. I didn't think he was gonna be great in the NFL, and I proved me right this year.
Just a bad year. That's all.
Maybe. So I guess.
Wait, where was Winston ranked?
What? He's ranked 11. He's above Mariota.
Yeah, you're right.
So Jameis had a 77.3, and he got hurt.
Marcus so did Marcus. Too. Marcus always gets hurt. Well, every damn year.
We're gonna have to do a segment, Mike. We talked about this last year. We have to do a segment that it's Jameis, Mark versus Marcus, Bobby versus Mike.
We're gonna have a headbutt battle. Yes. You know what? No, we're gonna grade their rookie year this year or this, shortly. So we'll have all that information.
Ooh.
We'll do that for sure. It was definitely an off year. I feel like for both of them. I mean, Jameis did come in at 11, but I feel like it was an off year for him as well. Mm-hmm. Injuries also definitely took part of that. It's only 12 games played. Mm-hmm. Just one of those years,
All right. Well, so there's our 2017 overview. We didn't touch every player again. We do have write-ups on these players. You can go to medium.com and go to our FATstats page and look there. You can go on Twitter. You can go on Instagram. We do have a lot of great content on the 2017 season. But let's talk about the Super Bowl a little bit.
All right, so the Super Bowl is coming up in a week from today. Eagles versus Patriots. Now, let's start this. I want to know, who do you think is going to win? Who is your opinion to win this game?
The Patriots.
Are the Eagles going to get their first, or the Patriots can get their 6th?
Patriots.
So you seem to say that with no issue.
It's so played out, man.
It is. I mean, Tom Brady versus Nick Foles.
It's gonna happen. Yeah. And so what I'm really excited about is the Eagles have a legitimate shot because of that defense. If they can pressure, being a Dolphins fan, I know when you pressure Tom Brady, you win the game. You can win the game. You put him on his butt, right? So Eagles can do that with their defense that they have, and they can get to the quarterback, and they're great against the passing, right? What are they? 9th in QB rating allowed, 79.5 in the season, regular season, right? Tom Brady has 102.8 passer rating. Our FAT grades, they are the second best passing defense against quarterbacks via our FAT grades. They have allowed the second lowest behind the Jaguars in QB FAT grade. So it's interesting. They have a legitimate shot.
It is going to be a tough matchup. I mean, yeah, the Eagles defense, they fly around. They're making plays out there. They definitely do their job. It's just hard to count out Tom Brady. We say this every year. It seems like he's getting better too. It's crazy. I don't understand.
I don't like it.
40 years old.
I don't like it. I know, man. It's so I don't like it.
So I'm going to take the Patriots as well. I would love for the Eagles to win their first. As a Titans fan also, we're trying to win our first. So I want to see a team win their first championship. And the Patriots, they're just always there. Like, come on, let someone else win. But the Patriots, they're just unbeatable, especially in the postseason. I mean, with Bill Belichick and Tom Brady, they're just they mesh so well together. They just don't lose. It's unbelievable to watch. It definitely history, and it's not gonna be easy for them, but I think they're gonna pull through and win.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Tom Brady is it's just it's a tale as old as time, right? No matter what, the Patriots are going to come out. Eagles might take the lead. I mean, it's what we see every single time. I can see this now that the Eagles go ahead and take a lead, right? They're up by 14, up by 17, going into the half. Second half comes by, Eagles. Let's see what happens. The Patriots defense is really the deciding factor here. To be honest, I think if the Patriots defense can contain the running game of the Eagles, I mean, that's golden, because the Eagles, they're first in the league in rushing yards. Or I'm sorry, they are third in rushing yards per game, 132. The Patriots, though, they are second. Oh, they're second in rushing TDs allowed. But if the Eagles, if they can stop the Eagles' running game, right? They can stop Blunt. They can stop Ajayi. They could stop Blunt and Ajayi. They have a legitimate shot. I mean, it's the Patriots. You have Tom Brady on the offense. If you can stop the Eagles' running game, they're winning this game.
So I feel like the Patriots can stop their run game. I mean, Bill Belichick is going to devise a game plan with Patricia. I mean, they're going to shut down the key players, and I feel like that's going to be the run game. I mean, all year the Patriots have only allowed six rushing touchdowns. That's second best in the NFL to the Titans, who only allowed 5 all year. But that is second best in the NFL. And they'll be able to shut the run game down. I feel like, it's going to come down to the Patriots offense versus the Eagles defense. I mean, that's the big matchup. That's the sexy matchup. I mean, we talked about this with the Jaguars against the Patriots, and the Jags were winning the whole game until the fourth quarter when it mattered most, and Tom did what he needed to do, and they ended up winning. I mean, I could for sure see it being like the same scenario where, like you said, the Eagles are up 14, and then in the end the Patriots come out in the fourth quarter and win. Mm-hmm. I can easily see that happening.
Yeah, I want the Eagles to win. I will really feel bad for the city of Philadelphia after what I just saw when they won last week. If they lose, God bless that city. I mean. We're going to have to see. We'll have to wait and see. I don't know if Gronk is playing or not.
He practiced. I'm sure he's going to play.
Yeah.
It seems like he's going to play.
But they got James White healthy, and Deion Lewis I think is healthy. Burkhead I think is playing. I'm not sure. But Hogan,
they
Amendola,
have so many weapons.
Gronk. They'll be fine. It'll be interesting because if that Eagles defense comes out to play, they're going to.
What's also going to be crazy to see is what is Nick Foles prepared to do. Now, last week against the Vikings, where he got the 100 FAT grade, he torched the Vikings. I mean, granted, it seemed like the receivers for the Eagles were kind of open quite a bit, but he was delivering it where it needed to be. And the Vikings were number one last year with 275.9 yards allowed per game defensively. And the Eagles, Nick Foles, torched them up, and it's going to be crucial for him to continue that. Mm-hmm. And I feel like he can, because he even stepped it up the game before that, and he looks like he's in a rhythm, and I feel like he can definitely keep it going. It's different against the Patriots in the Super Bowl, though. It's going to be tough.
What do you think the final score of the game is? Who do you think wins? Final score of the game?
I do feel it's going to be kind of close. I want to say it's going to be the Patriots at 28-21. That's what I'm going to go with.
Really? Well, I think it's Patriots 27-24, mm-hmm. and Tom Brady's going to be the MVP because that's easy. I'm a statistics guy. Statistics, right? So probabilities. I'm just gonna everything. I'm going to pick based on what I've seen, right? It's safe. It's the safe bet, right? Probability-wise, Patriots have won too many times. Playoffs, they're dominant. They're going up against a backup quarterback. Patriots are going to win, and MVP is just because it's Tom Brady, and it could be some outlier person. I think last year was it James White?
I believe so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it could be that, but I don't think so.
Watch out for Amendola. I mean, he's been balling this postseason, so it could be him if he gets two touchdowns, 100 yards. Mm-hmm. We'll see. I mean, they got so many weapons, so it really could be anybody.
It could be Kenny Britt.
Is he gonna start? I don't know if he starts.
I hope so, because
I would like to see Kenny Britt in the Super Bowl.
Kenny Britt.
I'm a fan of him.
Yeah.
You know, he was in the Jeff Fisher era with the Titans, so it didn't really work out.
Sure.
For a lot of other players also.
Yeah.
That's for a different day.
All right. Well, so that just concludes our first ever FATstaters episode brought to you by FATstats. So we will be back again very soon. Are we trying to do this every week? Like twice a week?
We'll try to do, 2 to 4 a month. I mean, we're definitely going to do one post Super Bowl.
Okay.
To discuss the Super Bowl and the grades of the quarterbacks.
Yeah, for sure. Let's do that. And we do have some great stuff coming up in the off season. Again, like there's this podcast, FATstaters, and then there's also Go Fick Yourself with Keith Rabinowitz is the host. We're going to have that. And then we're going to be putting out content all summer, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. You can find us on all those platforms, _teamstats, medium.com. We do have a website that is under construction, but it's fatteamstats.com. And then you can find these on SoundCloud. And we're going to attempt to get it up on every podcast channel we can. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
For sure.
All right.
All right. It's been real.